Hello everybody, and welcome back to another one of my videos, and sorry about that chair squeaking, but today I'm gonna play a game that's a little bit different from other games I've played in the past. And if you can't read and you're illiterate, you should probably go to school, get that checked out. But this is Katawa Shoujo. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. I just know that's his Katawa, that's his whatever else. If you don't know what this game is, probably look it up, because I don't really want to say, and if you don't want to have it spoiled, then yeah. So we're gonna play it. It's a dating simulator, just so you know. It's really screwed up, but it's really sad, so if your feels are ready, let's go. A light breeze causes the naked branches overhead to rattle like wooden wind chimes. This is a popular retreat for couples in the summer. The deciduous trees provide a beautiful green canopy, far out of the sight of teachers and fellow students. But now, in late winter, it feels like I'm standing under a pile of kindling. I breathe into my cupped hands and rub them together furiously to prevent them from numbing this cold. Just how long am I expected to wait out here anyway? I'm sure the note said 4 o'clock p.m. I guess the note slipped between the pages of my math book while I wasn't looking. As far as cliches go, I'm more of a fan of the letter in the locker. At least this way it shows a bit of initiative. As I ponder the meaning of the note, the snowfall gradually thickens. Snowflakes silently falling from the white painted sky, only sign of time passing in this stagnant world. Their slow descent upon the frozen forest makes it seem like time is slow to a crawl. The rustling of dry snow underfoot startles me. Interrupting the quiet mood, someone is approaching me from behind. Hi, Sal, you came? A hesitating, barely audible question, where I recognize the owner of that dainty voice instantly. I feel my heart skip a beat. It's a voice I've listened to hundreds of times, but never as more than an eavesdropper to a conversation. I turn to face this voice, the voice of my dreams. My heart begins to race. Iwanaka? I got a note telling me to wait here. It was yours? Dang it, I spent all afternoon trying to come up with a good line, and that was the result. Pathetic. Ah, yeah. I asked a friend to give you that note. I'm so glad you got it. This shy joy makes me so tense. I couldn't move a single muscle even if I tried. My heart was pounding now, as if it were trying to burst out from my chest and claim this hope for itself. So, here we are, out in the cold. Once again, it stirs up the branches. The noise is music to my ears. Onako flinches ever so softly against the gust of my wind. Or gust of wind, not my wind. As it passes, she rates herself as it's supported by some new competence. Her eyes lock with mine, she lazily twirls her long dark hair around her finger. All the while, the anxious beat of my heart grows louder. My throat is tight. I doubt I could even force a word out if I tried. You see, wanted to know if you'd go out with me. I stand there motionless, save for my pounding beat. I want to say something in reply, but my vocal cords feel like they've been stretched beyond the breaking point. Sal? I reach up, try to massage my throat. This only sends spikes up, blinding pain up along my arms. Sal! My whole body freezes, save for my eyes, which shoot open in terror. Oh man. Sal! The beat in my chest suddenly stops, and I go weak at the knees. It's all around me, the canopy, up bare branches, the dull winter sky, Iwanaka running towards me, all these fade to black. The last things I remember before slipping away, the sounds of Iwanaka screaming for help and the incessant clatter of the branches above. Well then, it seems as if I've had a heart attack. Ooh, opening cutscene. For the Studio presents. That's probably the people who made this. If I were to guess, you know. That was a very, very sad beat by me. It's been 4 months since my heart attack. Oh! And that whole time, I can probably count the times I've left this hospital room unsupervised on one hand. 4 months is a pretty long time when you've left alone with your thoughts, so I've had plenty of time to come to terms with my situation. Arrhythmia. A strange word, a foreign alien one. One that you don't want to be in the same room with. A rare condition. Causes the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It can be fatal. Apparently I've had it for a long time. They said it was a miracle that I was able to go on so long without anything happening. Is that really a miracle? I guess it was supposed to make me feel better, more appreciative of my life. It really didn't do anything to cheer me up. My parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had 2 hemorrhages apiece. I'd already had a full day by then to digest everything. To them, it was all fresh. They were even willing to sell our house in order to pay for a cure. Of course, there isn't a cure. Because of the late discovery of this condition, I've had to stay at the hospital to recuperate from the treatments. When I was first admitted, it felt like as if I was missed. In about a week, my room in the ward was full of flowers, balloons, and cards. But the visitors soon dwindled, and all the get-well gifts began trickling down to nothing shortly after. I realized the only reason I had gotten so many cards and flowers was because sending me their sympathy had been turned into a class project. Maybe some people were genuinely concerned. I doubt it. Even in the beginning, I barely had visitors. By the end of the first month, only my parents came by on a regular basis. Iwanaka was the last to stop visiting. After 6 weeks, I never saw her again. We never had that much to talk about once she visited anyway. We didn't touch the subject that was between us on that snowy day ever again. The hospital? It's not really a place I'd like to live in. Doctors and nurses feel so impersonal and tasteless. I guess it's because they are in a hurry. They have a million other patients waiting for them, but it makes me feel uncomfortable. For the first month or so, I asked the head cardiologist every time I saw him for a rough estimate when I'd be able to leave. He never answered anything in a straightforward way, but told me to wait and see if the treatment and surgeries worked. So I idly observed the scar that those surgeries had left on my chest, slowly changing its appearance over time, thinking of it as some kind of an omen. I still ask the head cardiologist about leaving. My expectations are low enough now that I'm not disappointed anymore when I don't get a reply. The way he shuffles around the answer shows that there's at least some hope. At some point I stopped watching TV. I don't know why, I just did. It was the wrong kind of escapism for my situation. I started reading instead. There was a small library at the hospital. Although it was more like a storeroom for books, I began to work my way through it, one small stack at a time. After consuming them, I would go back for more. I found that I liked reading, and I even became a bit addicted. I started feeling naked without a book in my hands. But I loved the stories. That was what my life was like. The days became increasingly harder to distinguish from each other, different only by the book I was reading and the weather outside. I felt like time blurred in some kind of gooey mass I was trapped inside, instead of moving within. It would go by without me really noticing it. Sometimes I'd pause in the realization that I didn't know what day of the week it was. At other times, all the things that surrounded me would painfully crash into my consciousness through the barrier of nonchalance I had set up for myself. Pages of my book would start to feel sharp and burning hot, and the heaviness of my chest would become so hard to bear that I had to put the book aside and just lay down for a while. looking at the ceiling as if I was going to cry. That happened only rarely, and I couldn't even try. Today, the doctor comes in and gives me a smile. He seems excited, but not very. It's like he's trying to make an effort to be happy on my behalf. My parents are here. It's been a few days since I last seen them. Both of them are even sort of dressed up. Is this supposed to be some kind of special occasion? It's not a party. There's this ritual the head cardiologist has. Takes his time sorting his papers, and then setting them aside as if to make a point of the pointlessness of what he just did. Then he casually sits down on the edge of my bed next to mine. He looks to me in the eyes for a moment. Hello, Hasao. How are you today? I'll answer him. When I smile a little, I don't know. I believe that you can go home. Your heart is stronger now. With some precautions, you should be fine. You have all your medications sorted out? I'll give your father the prescription. The doctor hands a sheet of paper to my dad. His expression turns wooden as he reads it quickly. So many. I take it from his hand and take a look myself, feeling numb. How am I supposed to react to this? An absurdly long list of medications staring back at me from the paper seems insurmountable, all blend together in a sea of letters. That's quite a bit. This is insane. It really is. Side effects, adverse effects, contradictions, and dosages are listed line after line with cold precision. I try to read them, but it's so futile. I can't understand any of it. Symptoms only make me feel sicker. All this for the rest of my life, every day. I'm afraid this is the best that we can do at this point. However, new medications are always being developed, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that list fade over the years. What kind of confidence booster is that? I'd have felt better if you hadn't said anything at all. Also, I've spoken with your parents, and we believe that it would be best if you don't return to your old school. What? Please calm down, Hasao. Listen to what the doctor has to say. Calm down. The way he says it tells me he knew full well that I wouldn't like it. Am I going to be homeschooled? However, whatever my concern shows, it's ignored. We all understand that your education is paramount. However, I don't think that's just wise for you to be without supervision. At least not until we're sure that your medication is suitable. So I've spoken to your parents about a transfer. The school's called Yamaku Academy that specializes in dealing with disabled students. Disabled? What am I? As a 24-hour nurse and staff and is only a few minutes from highly regarded general hospital. Majority of students live on the campus. Think of it as a boarding school of sorts. It's designed to give students a degree of independence while keeping help nearby. Independence? It's a school for disabled kids. I'm trying to disguise that fact. If it really was that free, there wouldn't be a 24-hour nursing staff, and you would make a hospital being nearby a selling point. Of course, that's only if you want to go, but your mother and I aren't really able to homeschool you. We went out there and had a look a couple of weeks back. I think you'll like it. Looks like I really don't have a choice. Compared to other heart problems, people with your condition usually tend to live long lives. You'll need a job one day, and this is a good opportunity to continue your education. This isn't just an opportunity. Don't call it an opportunity. Don't call it a goddamn opportunity. You should be excited at the chance to go back to school. I remember you wanted to return to school. Well, it's not the same one. A special school. That's an insult. That is what I want to say. Just step down. It's not what you think. All the students there are pretty active in their own sort of way. It's geared towards students that can still get around and learn, but just need a little help in one way or another. Your father's right. Many of the graduates of the school have gone on to do amazing things. A person doesn't have to be held back by the disability. One of my colleagues in another hospital is a graduate. I don't care. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. That's what a disability is. I really hate that something so important was decided for me. What can I do about it? A normal life is out of the question now. It's funny. I first thought my life was actually kind of boring. Now, I miss it. I want to protest. I want to blame this lack of reaction on shock or fatigue. You'll easily yell out something else, something about how I can go back to school anyway. But no. I don't say anything. The fact is that I know it's futile. I look around the room, feeling very tired of all this. The hospital, doctors, my condition, everything. I don't see anything that would make me feel any different. There really isn't a choice. I know this. I know this with the thought of going to a disabled school. What it was even like. As much as I try to be a positive spin on this, it's very difficult. Well, let me try. Clean slate isn't a bad thing. That's all I can think of to get me through this. At least I still have something, even if it's a special school. It's something. It's a fresh start. My life isn't over. It would be a mistake to just resign myself to thinking that. At the very least, try to see what my new life will look like. Act 1, life expectancy. Whew. You set the tone there. The gate looked far too pompous for what it was. In fact, gates in general seem to do that, but this one especially so. Red bricks, black wrought iron, and gray plaster assembled into a whole that didn't feel welcoming at all. I wondered if it looked like what a gate for a school should look like, but couldn't really decide. Probably no. Of course, I didn't want to get stuck on thinking about the gate for too long, so I entered through it with a brisk pace that felt surprisingly good. Moving forward feels good. So I walked towards the main building of Yamaku Academy with this brisk pace. I'm alone as my parents are taking my stuff to the dorms and there's supposed to be someone waiting for me. The grounds are incredibly lush, filled with green. It doesn't feel like the kind of grounds a school would have, or like a park with a clean walkway going past trees. The smell of fresh cut grass and all over park-like things. Words like clean and hygienic pop into my mind. It makes me shudder. I shake them off. Stay open-minded now. It's your new life. You have to take it as it is, or as it comes. That's what I tell myself. A few big buildings loom behind the leafy canopies. Too big and too many for just a school. Everything seems off. It's different from what I thought I knew about schools. It's in Caney Valley. Even though I was told this is my new school in the back of my head, it doesn't feel like one. I wonder if the feeling is real or caused by my expectations of a school for the disabled. Speaking of that, I don't see anyone else here. It's kinda eerie. Makes me wish there was somebody here so I can anchor myself to something tangible instead of having this feeling that I stepped into another dimension. The trees hum with the wind and the green hues flashing all around me catch my attention. Makes me think about hospitals again. Oh, how they say that the operating rooms are green. Painted green because green is a calming color. So, why am I feeling so anxious despite all this greenery? Give me a second. I feel lightheaded. What happens on I'm gonna take a quick sip here, guys, because all that reading dries out your mouth. Okay, let's continue. Keep that on me. Excuse me. Only after I stood in front of the haughty main building, I surprised myself by realizing why the gate bothered me. It was the last chance I had to turn back. Even I had no life I could return to. But still, after entering, there was absolutely no way I could go back anymore. Feeling nervous and with this realization inside my head, I opened the front door. A tall man with bad posture notices me as I enter. We're the only people in the lobby, so it's only logical. You must be Iki? Nakai. So you are. Excellent. I am your homeroom and science teacher. My name is Muto. Welcome. We exchange a handshake that is neither firm nor sloppy, and he looks at his watch. Head nurse asked you for a brief check-in visit, but there's no time for that now. Oh, should I go later? Yes, afternoon is probably fine. We should get going and introduce you to the rest of the class. They're waiting already. Waiting for me? I really like being the center of attention, and I guess it's inevitable in a situation like this. Somehow, not knowing what is waiting for me makes me feel really nervous. I guess I almost missed what the teacher is saying. Do you want to introduce yourself to the class? And finally, we get to make choices. So, yeah, of course. Of course, but not everyone likes to be at the center of attention. Probably one of those people, but I guess I should be the one to give the first impression of myself. Right, but it's no problem. Let's go then. My heart is pounding in my chest, and it keeps me thinking about my condition as I follow the teacher up the stairs. The third door down, the third floor corridor is marked as the classroom for class 33. Muto opens the door and enters. Good morning, everyone. Sorry I'm late again. I hesitate for a split second at the door, freezing on the spot. Ah, get a grip. This is a big step, I know that. But there isn't any point to worrying so much about it. At least not this soon. That chick has a burn scar. I follow the teacher into the classroom and look around, partially so I won't have to meet the curious gazes of my new classmates. It's very spacious. The ceiling is unusually high, and there's a lot of space left over and around in between the desks. The entire wall taken up by blackboards, and the high, old-fashioned windows only make it seem larger. Students' desks are just standard wooden desks with a shelf underneath for books and wooden chairs with metal frames. Simple and efficient. I stop walking in front of the classroom and face several students. They all look normal, like students at any other school. But then, why would they be here? But me. And have something wrong with them. Only it's just not immediately obvious. And I noticed that one of the girls seemed to be missing the thumb of her right hand. It's a little jarring. Despite the natural tendency to listen when someone's talking about you, I tune out the teacher's speech halfway through while he introduces me to the class. I notice a flash of dark hair that someone is looking at me. A girl with really long straight hair that is pretty eye-catching. As she sees me looking back at her, she covers her face with her hand as if it will make her invisible. There's only one boy with a cane leaning against the lockers at the rear of the class. It's weird seeing someone so young with a cane. Look at that back there. Look at that fat dude. That girl seems to be making some weird hand motions. Sign language? She peers at me over the rims of her glasses, then goes back to whatever she's doing. She's kinda cute. So is the cheery looking girl with the pink hair sitting next to her. She's really hard to miss. I don't know how I didn't notice her the moment I walked in. Please welcome our newest classmate. He claps his hand, and so does everyone else, except for one girl in the first row, who has only one hand. I cringe a little, but I hide it by validating things for this class I did not deserve. Collective silence tells me that I should open my mouth now. Oh, personal comments. So, I'm Masao Nakai. After that, my hobbies are reading, soccer, and soccer. I hope I get along well with everyone, even though I'm a new student. And after that, being so bored, this is exactly like every self-introduction ever. I should say something more exciting. I'm saying nothing, and the teacher picks up from there. Everyone seems to be satisfied, even with what little I said. Though, a few girls are whispering to each other. Everyone glances at me. It could have gone worse. Oh crap, she doesn't have legs. I just noticed that now. I listen to the teacher as he drones about getting along while letting my gaze sweep across the classroom. Everyone seems to be listening to him intently, and when he's done, they clap their hands again, which feels like a weird thing to do. First girl claps on this round with her one hand against her upper wrist that ends in a bandage stump. It makes me feel a little bad. We're going to be doing some group work today, so that'll give you a chance to talk with everyone. Is that okay with you? Yeah, it's fine with me. All these Japanese names. That's good, you can work with Hakamichi. She's the class representative. She can explain anything you might want to know, and who else would be able to do that better, right? How could I know? The teacher passes out the day's assignments and announces that we'll be working in groups of 3. Hits me that I don't know who Hakamachi is. Slow. The teacher seems to catch my helpless expression. Oh. Alright, Hakamachi is right there. Shizune Hakamachi. As he calls out her name, the cute, bubbly looking girl with bright pink hair and gold eyes waves her hand at me. I take a seat next to her by the window. Hey, I guess you're Hakamachi, right? It's nice to meet you. Ha ha ha. What? I'm caught off guard by her laughter. It's nice to meet you too, but I'm not Hakamachi. I'm Misha. This is Hakamachi. So whatever that name is. Giggling, Misha points to the girl next to her, the one I saw using sign language before. Looks like she has been staring at me this whole time. She nods once nonchalantly to show that she acknowledges my presence, but only barely. She has short yet carefully and neatly brushed hair, a pair of oval glasses. Why do I have to describe this? It's like right in front of us. On the tip of a dainty nose. And dark blue eyes that seem to alternate every few seconds between analytic and slightly bored. It's nice to meet you. immediately looks at Misha, who smiles and makes a few quick gestures of her hand. Machi nods and makes a few gestures of her own. I start to wonder if the teacher was messing with me, saying things like, we'll be able to talk to people, and we'll be able to explain things to you. I can see you're a little confused, right? Right. But I understand why you think I was... That name is Death. The person who translates things back and forth for her. I'm like an interpreter. She says it's nice to meet you too. Blake. You're a new student, aren't you? Well, blank her name. Of course. If he wasn't, he wouldn't have been standing up there for no reason, right? Right. Seems like a very interesting person, doesn't he? We knew there was going to be a new student, but we didn't know you'd be here today. So soon. Right? Yup, it fits, doesn't it? Did I say it out loud? It's just a surprise, and I never liked that nickname. I don't really see how... It fits, just like I imagined. Blink. Yeah, he looks just like a... I can't say... Hiki-chan? I wonder why everyone else seems to think so. Takamachi taps her fingers on the desk to get Misha's attention. They gesture back and forth to each other excitedly, their hands are blurred. Misha seems a little overwhelmed. Oh, Bob Saget. Okay. I'm like an interpreter. Sorry about that. Apparently if you scroll, it sort of skips the dialogue. She says it's nice to meet you too. Blank. Didn't used to. Of course he is. If he wasn't, he would have been standing up for me. I feel like, I've already done this. I did. He just seems a little overwhelmed. Sorry about that. That girl's name wants you to know that she's the class rep. So if there is anything you need to know, you can feel free to ask her. Blank. Do you like the school so far? We can show you around a little if you haven't had the time to walk around and familiarize yourself with it. Misha stumbles with the hard word a bit, making it stick out in her otherwise fluid translation. Thanks, that'd be pretty helpful. Yeah, I just kinda came straight to class today. Blank. I can't laugh like that. Ha 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 ha! That's how I'm gonna laugh. Every time someone goes like ha ha, I'm gonna go ha. That's no good. You should always try to learn as much as you can about where you're going before you go there. Not just of school either. She don't look too happy. Always, even if it's a trip to the convenience store. Really? That girl's name? Ha 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 ha. About where you're going. I guess I didn't bother to do that, or just didn't care enough to do so. I didn't look forward to this, even if I committed myself to go along with it, half-assedly away. But anyway, I don't say anything. We should get signed something that ends in a shrug. What was that? It seems like it was about me. I feel like slumping over in the seat. Both of them are smiling. That shrug hit me unexpectedly deeply. Look down, are you okay? Blink. Don't take it the wrong way, please. I hate it when people are afraid to ask questions. That's how people learn things, by asking. Asking for help is perfectly normal. As much as needing help. Stop looking like you just failed a test. Wario laugh over there. Alright. Blink. And everything. You don't have to call her. She's Blink. That girl's name something so formal like Hakamichi or class rep all the time. Just... You expect me to say that word? There's no way I'm gonna say that word. I'm gonna have to like Google translate that. Link. Okay, maybe that's too casual. Maybe Shizune would be more appropriate. Yes, because I can pronounce that. Yep, Shizune. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, okay, that'd be a lot easier. It really would be. I feel a lot more at ease. Both of them seem so friendly, so I feel like an idiot for being so apprehensive earlier. Especially about Shizune, who I assume would be all business. Well, she still seems like that, but less so, I guess. Link. Oh, alright. We haven't even touched the assignment. We should start work now. Or Shizune can get mad. The assignment is also kind of long, so we should start now if we want to finish it before the end of class. That too. Shizune, Link. Shizune glares at the two of us impatiently. I don't need to know sign language and understand that. Okay, I get the message. Link. After class, we get to go walk around the grounds together. It's a nice day today. Okay? This assignment is actually very challenging to get through, combining aspects of being both difficult and unnecessarily long. Still, we finished it a few minutes earlier than anyone else in the class, despite our late start. Shizune and Misha are really capable. They're quite different though. The class rep is as calm and professional as she looks, while Misha is a lot more playful and girlish, not to mention a little more easily distracted. To be honest, the two of them did most of the work. I feel guilty about that. The clock tower bell rings, signaling the end of the period. Time for lunch. It's a weird picture. Without knowing what else to do, I follow Misha, who is beckoning me into the hallway and down the stairs. We ascend even below the lobby where I met Moto, down to the bottom floor. Just like everything in school, the cafeteria seems too spacious and oddly modern in contrast to the classic exterior. Its big windows open to the courtyard towards the main gate. Well, I think I'm gonna pause it right here because I have to do something. That's why there was a cut there. But I will be back with this more. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is just the beginning. More stuff's gonna happen, crazy stuff. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.